Hello, everyone. So, we have 4 missions left in the Iconian War storyline. And now we're going to try to find the Krenim. Here we go.
We have a lead on the Krenim. Voyager went to Krenim space looking for them a few months ago, but didn't find much more than a Vaudois and some anomalous sensor readings. But now, we found a Ferengi selling what he claims are Krenim artifacts. You are authorized to negotiate with the Ferengi and obtain these artifacts. Follow the trail where it leads. We need a weapon against the Iconians. And the Vaudois have gone to a great deal of trouble to keep whatever secrets the Krenim have out of our hands.
Okay, and this is the Vorgon ship that we get from the summer event. It's the Vorgon Heavy Escort. I don't really care that much for escorts, but at least trying it out. I'm gonna try to get it mastered. I'm just starting, actually, excuse me, 3/4 through the 3rd mastery. Okay, let's talk with Gwen.
Welcome to Josana.
I hate that Ferengi's voice. Taking our full bridge crew. We know there's going to be combat. Sir, business facilitator Gwen has rented space at the station for his private sales meetings. We aren't sure what the object he is selling is yet. The rumors are that it's a technological device of some sort. The price Gwen is asking for is significant. You could buy a moon for this much latinum. Starfleet Command reports additional assistance is en route, but that we should go ahead and make an attempt to obtain the device. Understood. The receptionist.
May I help you? Oh, wait, you must be. I'm sorry, but the business facilitator is busy at the moment and cannot be disturbed.
We had an appointment.
Yes, but Quen left me explicit instructions about this. He's in the middle of a delicate negotiation to triple his profits on the sale of a rare Delta Quadrant artifact, and cannot be disturbed.
Doesn't Gwen want to hear an offer from the combined financial resources of Starfleet, the Klingon Empire, and the Romulan Republic?
Maybe, let's see, it was something. Krenim, I think? Oh, Delta Quadrant treasures are all the rage right now. Artifacts from cultures the Vaadwaur wiped out are particularly valuable. Quen's made quite a bit of latinum bringing them back through the gateways. Now, that profit-sharing plan he promised me hasn't materialized, but is it my place to complain?
I know you're just doing your job, but it's very important we get that artifact, please.
I'm sorry, but my instructions were very clear.
There must be something we can do for you in exchange.
Well, I'm sorry, but I need this job. I'm trying to save up enough for a ticket off this station.
I will arrange transportation for you to go anywhere you like to go, free of charge.
You can? What am I saying? You have a starship, of course you can. Go on ahead. Quen and the other buyer are in the cargo bay, but you better hurry. They were trying to get the deal finalized before you could stop them. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting us pass. My crew will make arrangements for you. Now run along, hon.
Not so fast. The gentleman with the rather imposing associates over there has just made a very competitive offer for the device. Care to make a counterbid?
I'll make it worth your time to deal exclusively with me.
You said there weren't any other buyers, Quinn. Now what do I see? Starfleet stooges here to cause trouble. Guards, get these riffraff out of here so I can conclude my deal in peace.
I'm not leaving without the device.
Enemy targets on sensors.
I am going to change one little thing. Find it again.
Fine. I'll add what I was going to pay those guards to my offer.
Hold it! I am Nog, son of Grand Nagus Rom. And I am a Ferengi. And when you deal with these people, you deal with me. You have a choice. Either deal with me, or I ask my father to have a word with the liquidators about your poor business practice.
Well, I'm sure we could come to an understanding.
That's what I thought. Now, kiss the staff. Get out! Not you, Quinn.
Here's my best offer. How about we agree on a price, and you get your Delta Quadrant doodad, and I leave? Everyone's happy.
Not so fast, Gwen.
No? Fine. How about I answer your questions, and maybe then I get to leave? But let's get on with it. Every minute I stand here, I'm losing a strip of latinum. Time is a very valuable commodity.
What do you know about the relic?
The device is Krenim in origin. Specifically, it's from the Krenim Imperium. Constructed sometime in the mid-22nd century, if I had to take a guess. Strange piece of technology. I haven't seen anything else like it. Highly advanced, and it has hallmarks of Krenim work. But it's, odd. Definitely odd.
What happened to the Krenim?
The Vatlar, that's what. At one point, the Krenim Imperium held more than 200 star systems in the Delta Quadrant. They lost some of that territory in a couple wars, but overall they were doing well. Not the biggest business in the quadrant, but not the smallest either. When the Vatlar started their war, Gaul took a special interest in the Krenim. Bombed them back to the Stone Age, and then some. As far as anyone knows, the Krenim are basically extinct these days.
Where'd you get the device?
I picked it up from a Talaxian who wanted to trade for supplies. He told me he got it from the Kayana system. That was it. There used to be a Krenim colony there, but it's gone now, just like the rest of their empire.
Gone? The Vatlar destroyed them?
The Talaxian wasn't very clear on that. He just said, gone. If I'd asked any more questions, he might have increased his price.
Anything else?
As a show of good faith to the son of the Nagus, I'm willing to tell you for free. But don't let this get around. It would ruin my reputation as a businessman. The device emits some unusual energy readings. The shielding may malfunction, or maybe it's not fully operational anymore. I'm not sure. But that's why I'm selling it as an antique. As is, and no refunds.
What kind of unusual energy readings?
Do I look like a member of the Vulcan Science Academy to you? I don't know. It's yours now. You paid for it. You figure it out. I hope it doesn't blow up your ship. Now, may I go so we can put all this unpleasantness behind us? I want to drown my sorrows in a comet cocktail and think about all the profit I didn't earn today.
Go and stay out of trouble. Kick your ass. How did you do that?
Don't let the staff of Avis and these good looks fool you. I'm here as a Starfleet officer, and I don't normally flaunt my family connections, but in this case, it seemed like the best way to solve the problem. So I borrowed my dad's second best staff.
Thanks for the assist. It didn't look like Oglo was going to let us purchase this Krenim artifact while he was still in the room.
Interesting. I know Voyager encountered the Krenim during the journey, and Tuvok was looking for survivors of the Vatlar purges. For now, though, perhaps we should concentrate on learning what we can from this device.
Agreed. Now what should we do about the force field?
Quinn left without taking down his security, but fortunately I know how to get around it. This isn't a very sophisticated system. It's hardly worth the latinum he paid for it. If we overload the EPS conduits, we'll create a cascade failure in the system that the control protocols won't be able to handle. That should drop the force field.
Now, I know about Captain Nog, but for some people, probably not so. I'm not familiar with your background, Captain. Mind giving me the short version?
I don't mind telling you a bit about myself at all. I grew up on Deep Space Nine with my father and my Uncle Quark. That was back before my dad became the Nagus. He was just a maintenance tech. Like my father, I preferred engineering to business. And Captain Sisko helped me get into the Academy, the first Ferengi ever to join Starfleet. I fought in the Dominion War, which is an experience I never want to repeat. And I spent some time on exploration ships. Then it was back to DS9 for a while, off to Utopia Planitia to work with the SCE, and finally taking command of the Chimera. Now I get to see the technology I helped develop at work in the field.
A long and interesting career, Captain. Glad to meet you.
No Voyager encountered the Krenim during the journey, and Tuvok was looking for survivors. Quinn left without taking down his security, but fortunately I know how to get around it. This isn't a very sophisticated system. It's hardly worth the Latinum he paid for it. If we overload the EPS conduits, we'll create a cascade failure in the system that the control protocols won't be able to handle. That should drop the force field.
Just overload the EPS circuits? That's not very secure at all.
I think conduit's in the corner there. Now that the power flow is disrupted, we can override the administrative access requirement.
Right, I'll override the controls next.
The controls are... Yes! Excellent. Now we can get a good look at this. The waveforms aren't like anything I've seen before. I think I'm getting something. This is definitely Krenim in origin. And Quinn was right on the age. I'm also seeing some repeating elements in the base code, almost like a signature. And that strange energy Quinn was talking about is actually chronotons. A lot of chronotons. And chronotons mean temporal manipulation. This little box just got a lot more interesting.
I hate temporal mechanics.
I'll take the device back to my ship, the Chimera, and have a look while we're on the way to the Kiana system. From what I understand, Voyager sent an away team to the Kiana system a few weeks ago, but they encountered some resistance and were forced to pull back before they can find what they were looking for. But now that we have this, maybe we'll be able to find what remains of the Krenim, if there's anything left to find.
Understood. See you in the Delta Quadrant.
I've explored many places as a Starfleet officer, but this is my first time seeing the Delta Quadrant. According to Quinn, the Krenim artifact came from this system. I hope we haven't come all this way just to chase ghosts. I've had a chance to look at the Krenim device, although I'm not sure how to activate it yet. It's definitely designed for temporal manipulation, although I don't think it would enable someone to travel through time. It's almost like a step sideways, if that makes any sense at all. I'll keep working on it and let you know if I learn anything more.
Perhaps we can find something here that can explain it.
Voyager's preliminary scans of the system turned up a number of anomalies, but nothing conclusive. According to Krenim records, though, there's supposed to be an M-class planet in this system. We're not reading anything like that on the sensors.
Maybe the planet is the source of the asteroids. We're also picking up some wreckage.
Could be. Let's check that wreckage out first. It might give us a better idea of what happened out here. And we should be on the lookout for Vaadwaur. Preliminary scans indicate they've been actively patrolling through this system.
Agreed. Set a course for the wreckage around that asteroid.
Keep an eye out for Vaadwaur. They're still patrolling this area. If I had to place a bet, I'd say that wreckage is where this artifact was found. Heads up! Vaadwaur on an intercept course.
Not for long.
Target's shields have failed.
The wreckage appears to be Krenim. The weapon signatures are definitely Vaadwaur. According to Voyager, the Krenim were a fairly small society. There had to be a reason the Vaadwaur went out of their way to target them. Let's move. There are more Vaadwaur ships on an intercept course, but we may be able to avoid them. I suggest we use the mineral content of the asteroids I've marked to conceal our energy signatures. Vaadwaur sensors aren't as good as ours. Most of their technological advantage appears to be directed toward making better weapons. So it should work, as long as we don't attract their attention before we get out of their path.
Good idea. Let's try using the asteroids as cover.
Heralds! They must be looking for that Vaadwaur patrol. I don't think those heralds detected us. Let's hope they don't come back this way.
Read.
Heralds inbound! The Vaadwaur must have gotten a signal out. So much for our
Target shield has failed.
There was something about the Krenim that was such a threat to the Vaadwaur and the Iconians that they're still patrolling the old Krenim systems. If we can find more Krenim technology, or maybe unlock what we have, we might be able to find out what is so important. That could be something the Alliance can use against the Iconians. I recommend that the Chimera and your ship patrol the outer system while we take an away team to the surface. I'll bring the device and keep trying to learn more about it.
Agreed. My team will meet you there.
This doesn't make sense. There's nothing here that would cause the readings I was seeing from orbit, but there are traces of chronotron particles. I've never known chronotrons to appear naturally without some sort of temporal manipulation going on, but there's nothing here. I'm starting to come up with a theory, but I need some more data. I recommend we take some additional scans.
Agreed. If there's something here, we just need to find it.
Exactly, but we need to be quick. Those patrols we encountered in orbit will be missed soon. I'm going to order the Chimera to try to avoid contact, but warn us if more ships arrive.
Agreed. Pick the areas for the scans and let's get going.
These tall spires are charged with temporal energy. Curious. It's almost like it's in a state of temporal flux. I need to get some scans. There's something going on. There are more mineral deposits over there. There's a resonant frequency here that's not natural. I'm reading another anomaly ahead. These anomalies have a shape, like a warp field, but not quite the same. The only other place I've seen sensor readings like this was in the wormhole.
Interrupted. Captain, heralds have landed and are approaching your position. Fall back, Aubrey. We'll we'll deal with the heralds already here.
There, behind those rocks. Hurry, they'll be here any moment. This area looks defensible. Get ready. I have an idea. We need to use the device. I've been trying to activate it, and I've almost got it. Keep them busy. If I can get it working, I should be able to conceal us.
I know you can get it to work, but hurry.
Here they come! Working as quickly as I can.
Flanking damage detected.
Watch out! There's more of them!
Personal shield losing power.
I need more time to align these frequencies.
You don't have it.
Almost there. Just one more connection and that should...
Dog? Hurry, you have to move up to the ridge. Up the path, we need to clear this area. Ambush! For an ambush of our own. There, we can use the rocks to cover while I plan our next move.
Enemy targets on center.
What? Captain Nog?
If you'll forgive the pun, I managed to buy us some time. It's taken me some time to convince the Krenim to help us, but they finally agreed. Remember how I said the device could remove someone from the time stream? It did. That's where we are now, in the temporal bubbles. And how we perceive time in here is a little different than outside. That's why the Heralds can't see us. We're out of their timelines. Out of all timelines, in fact. While we're here, it's almost like we don't exist.
And not existing is an improvement?
No one's shooting at us. I think that's a good thing. The Krenim are... they're a little touchy. Almost being driven to extinction by the Vaadwaur has made them suspicious. But they're willing to talk to us if we help them stabilize the temporal energy. I suggest we help. I wouldn't want to be in here if the fields collapse.
Let's talk to the Krenim.
I've had some time to observe you and Captain Nog, and your actions make it clear that you are no friend of the Vaadwaur or the Heralds. This does not, however, assure me that you will be allies to my people. The Krenim have lost much. Our empire is gone, and our people have been killed or scattered. We are what remains, and I will do whatever I must to protect this system, even if it means leaving you to face the Heralds alone.
What can we do to prove ourselves?
You have already repaired some of our emitters that were damaged by the attack, but there is more yet to do. Should our temporal equipment fail, this location will be instantly overrun by Heralds. If that happens, none of us will survive.
What can we do to assist you?
More of our emitters must be realigned, and there are other pieces of equipment my people are already working to repair. Assist my team, and then we will talk again.
Understood.
Your fight overloaded some of the power couplings we used to moderate the temporal flow. If we had a contained space like the technology was originally designed for, this wouldn't be a problem. But we keep pushing the boundaries of what these flow modulators will do. I'm rerouting the power to take stress off the damaged couplings. But first, we need to get this capacitor aligned and ready for the transfer.
Who invented this technology?
The temporal technology was developed by a scientist named Anorax. He's still a mystery, even to us. We know he was a ship commander in the Imperium fleet and a genius in temporal mechanics, and that he started work on his inventions in the late 22nd century after our war with the Rilnar. Perhaps he saw temporal manipulation as a way to change our fortunes. We know he was working towards weaponizing his designs, and I can tell from what little I've seen that it is possible. But full access to his data is restricted, so I don't know the full capabilities of his work.
He sounds like a brilliant, troubled man. Now, what do you need help with?
Your fight overloaded
What
some
can I
of the
do to
power-
assist?
Okay, now it's starting to look like something.
The temporal compensators are out of alignment. They help keep us at a stable point in the timeline. If they fail completely, we could end up lost in time. Grab a hyperspanner. We need to get this fixed before the drift coefficient moves out of the safe zone.
Can I ask you something? For an Imperium, the Krenim doesn't seem to have a lot of resources.
The Imperium was at its peak in the mid-22nd century. At that time, it controlled more than 900 planets, and our territory spread across more than 5,000 parsecs. Then came the Rilnar, and the Zal, and the Garanor, the Mawasi, and the Nahydron. Our wars chipped away at us, carving one planet after another away from the Imperium. There were only 27 planets left when the Vaadwaur came. Now, almost everyone on those worlds is gone too.
I understand now. What do you need help
The
with?
temporal compensators are out of alignment.
I'll do what I can to help. Temporal compensators are out of alignment and may cause temporal synchronization, whatever. Matrix to destabilize. Begin repairs. What do you think, Nog?
You should realign the matrix crystals.
Align the crystals, thank you. Disconnect. Reconnect. Temporal compensators are aligned and the device is working within expected parameters. Close diagnostic.
Good. I'll put the next location on your tricorder.
Excuse me, heralds.
Hold this. No, hold it right next to the bracket. Or the spanner won't... There. Got it, thanks. Something is putting too much stress on these components. I'm not sure what it is, but we don't have enough spare parts to keep rebuilding this transceiver. Grab a tricorder and run a level 3 diagnostic. Maybe there are some microfractures. If we can find and repair those, this should hold out until I can fabricate a new unit.
Can I ask you something about this technology? Why are you having so many problems with it?
Anorax's original designs are for a temporal field that's big enough for a ship, sizable but finite. We've adapted the tech to cover much larger areas, but that makes the field more unstable, and we had to get everything operational before the Vaadwaur found us. So we cut some corners. A lot of corners. We're making updates and repairs as fast as we can, but we can't afford a failure. This tech is the only thing keeping us alive.
I understand. Now, what do you need help with?
Hold this.
Sure, I'll help you. Nothing's putting too much stress on these components. There may be microfractures. If those are repaired, it should hold out until a new unit can be fabricated. What do you think, Nog?
You need to scan for microfractures. We need to know what to repair.
What I thought.
That should do it.
You've shown you're willing to help. Now perhaps we can come to a mutually beneficial arrangement.
How?
We have Anorax's plans, but not the... Interesting. The Heralds are opening a gateway.
What?
The repairs should be enough.
I beg mercy, Great One. It appears they used a cloaking device and escaped.
You are forgiven. Make preparations to depart.
As you command.
An interesting development.
These sentients have proven to be resourceful. Already they have thwarted our plan to bring in the Solanae fleet.
Their struggles are limitless.
And yet they injured even you, Ticket. I advise caution. They are more dangerous than they appear.
We shall render worlds asunder. Still unless blood until it fills the oceans. It is time to strike.
I understand you want vengeance, but we must not act in haste.
We will continue with our plan. The whole must be as one. The whole must be as one. The attack on Iconia broke our unity. We were divided, diminished, weak. The others saved us from oblivion, but it took centuries to rebuild our bonds. We cannot risk more loss. The whole must be as one. The campaign will continue as planned.
They couldn't see us? There were Iconians right in front of us and nothing. They had no idea we were here. We were completely safe.
You're right, this could be what we need.
The only protection left to my people is our ability to manipulate time. But it is something we must do with great care. Even the most innocuous of changes can ripple through reality in unexpected ways.
You're talking about advanced temporal theory.
My people and I have made Anarax's theories of temporal manipulation our lives' work. In at least one temporal variant, his ship made the Krenim Imperium the undisputed masters of this region of space. If only we could recreate that vessel.
What vessel?
Anarax designed a ship, a wondrous vessel that could manipulate the time streams and erase elements in an attempt to bring about a desired result. Our records show that he even attempted to use this vessel to restore the Krenim's fortunes, but he was defeated by an unknown alliance. Afterward, the Krenim Imperium declined, as perhaps was its fate all along. We were diminished, but content to let time progress as it would. Until the Vaadwaur.
Vaadwaur destroyed all the Krenim colonies in this area.
The first Krenim worlds to fall managed to warn the others. When the Vaadwaur came, we hid ourselves in the time stream. It was the only way we survived. Before the Vaadwaur arrived, we were working on a relic. It was a replica of Anarax's time ship. With it, we could have gone back and eliminated the Vaadwaur threat before it even began.
Why haven't you done so already?
The Vaadwaur's assault on the Imperium took too much from us. Now we possess Anarax's work, but not the means to bring it to life. You have seen what our technology can do. We have the designs. You have the manpower and the materials. Perhaps your governments would be interested in mutual cooperation. Allow us a chance to undo what the Vaadwaur did, and we will give you something that will erase your enemies from time itself.
A generous offer, but it is one we need to consider carefully. Do you want to risk all you have left on a chance for success?
There's more here than what you've seen.
You've hidden the entire planet?
Yes, we removed ourselves from the time stream to stay alive. With your help, we can change everything.
You hid an entire planet, but you can't build this time ship on your own?
We have the plans. Our resources are almost gone.
We have shipyards, workers, and all the materials you could need.
Precisely. We revealed ourselves to you as a gesture of good faith. What will you do in return?
We need to take this back to the Alliance.
The Iconians and the Heralds are gone. It's safe to resync with our time and contact our ship. But this is huge. A whole Krenim colony that survived the Vaadwaur? One that has temporal technology that even the Iconians can't counter? A weaponized time ship that can erase entire civilizations like they never existed? This could change the entire war. We could have a chance now.
Aubrey, one to beam up. Sir, is that what happened? We've been scanning for you, but you just disappeared. You've been hiding in the debris to stay away from the Herald ships, and then, sir, you're not going to believe this. There's a planet here now, an entire planet. Did you find something down there? Is something that can conceal an entire planet? Looking forward to hearing what happened, Captain. But we're glad you're back. We found the Krenim. I'll explain as soon as we're back on board.
Temporal mechanics is not a complication we need, but this weapon they are proposing sounds intriguing. You and Captain Nog were correct in thinking the Alliance would be interested in investigating such a thing. Personally, I approve of anything the Iconians might fear. Kapla!
Kapla!
Please report to the Kiana system. Our partnership with the Krenim is starting to bear fruit, but the project may take more time to complete than we have left. We must consider any plan that ensures our survival.
Before we start that, okay, now I can get more gold pressed platinum on ground kills.
You are cleared for docking.
That's a lot of ships. Captain Cogran has sent his aide, Lieutenant Tulloch, to give you a brief tour of the Krenim research facility. So far, the Alliance venture at the Krenim has been very productive. Together, our teams are making progress towards completing Anorex's designs for a ship capable of temporal incursions. The Lieutenant is waiting to greet you, sir.
Greetings. On behalf of Captain Cogran and Alliance Command, I am pleased to welcome you to our research station. The Captain is completing his preparations. In the meantime, I will give you a tour of the facility, where we are building a weapon that will end the Iconian threat once and for all. Follow me. Our researchers can explain how the weapon works and answer any questions you may have.
Lead the way, Lieutenant.
And here, we have the development area.
How much do you know about the Krenim, 7 of 9?
The Borg have extensive records on the Krenim. They were a species of great interest to the Collective.
I'm not sure I like the idea of the Borg studying us like a bug in a petri dish. I'm not sure I like the idea of the Borg studying anyone.
And what about the Iconians?
The Collective spent a great deal of resources pursuing Iconian technology. They believed the species to be extinct. They were incorrect.
So much for the Borg knowing everything.
The Iconians' technology is far beyond even the capabilities of the Borg.
Fine, but what about shielding the ship that's using the weapon? We haven't solved the paradox problem yet.
This is not my first experience with alternate timelines. It would be possible to develop a form of temporal shielding to protect this vessel from alterations in the timeline.
Welcome to our facility. I'm working with one of the teams here to develop the time ship and choose a target. What we do is different from time travel. Anorax's designs are actually for a weapon that can remove elements from the time stream completely, and then time reshapes itself to account for that absence.
Time reshapes itself? Does that mean reality itself will change?
In some ways, yes. Once the weapon is fired, it can create an entirely new reality. And anyone or anything that isn't temporally shielded will be a part of that reality. That's why we have to proceed slowly. If we're not careful, we could change everything we know and not even know what's happened.
That could be dangerous to us as it is to the Iconians.
But think of the possibilities. We could reverse the effects of wars, stop threats like the Iconians, even turn back time and eliminate the Borg. This is a weapon, but it's one that can make a better galaxy.
Perhaps, but many terrible things have come about from the best of intentions.
Captain Cogren's briefing is about to begin. Follow me to the conference room.
Lead the way, Lieutenant.
Greetings. I have heard much about your victories against the Iconians. It is an honor to work with a warrior like yourself. We are almost ready to begin. First, however, Agent Cray would like a word.
Aye, sir.
Greetings. My name is Philip Cray. I'm the liaison from Temporal Investigations for this project.
Pleased to meet you. Why does this project need a liaison? Yeah, I can speak English tonight.
The Federation has some serious concerns about possible violations of the Temporal Prime Directive. Normally, Starfleet personnel are strictly prohibited from directly interfering with historical events, and should make every effort to maintain the timeline.
And yet, this weapon is being created exactly for that purpose.
Indeed. That should tell you how serious this war has become. If the Iconians win, there probably won't be anyone left to preserve the timeline. In this instance, my role is to ensure that we succeed in our task with the minimal possible disruption to the timeline, as well as to address any repercussions of those disruptions.
So the directive is only a directive when it's convenient.
I don't disagree. As a Starfleet officer, I am sworn to uphold the Temporal Prime Directive. Not only that, but I have seen firsthand the dangers that come from ignoring it. But as the Vulcans say, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. The Iconians cannot use time travel, and that makes it a weapon we can use against them. We must consider carefully whether it is too dangerous of a weapon to use at all.
I still have my objections, and I'll be bringing them up with command.
The war is not going as well as we might wish. Our fleet are protecting key worlds, but dozens of other targets have fallen to Herald attacks. Civilian casualties are rising. We need to act. This facility is building a device to turn the tide in our favor. Captain Nog, What is the status of the weapon?
We've had some setbacks, Captain. We're still weeks from a working prototype. No amount of temporal manipulation will change that.
And have you chosen a target for the temporal incursion?
We're still running simulations. We've configured the holodecks to help us evaluate the possible changes that occur after removing an element from the time stream. Some of these scenarios show promise, but none are exactly what you want.
Very well. We cannot afford to wait another day. We are losing this war. We need to strike now. A direct engagement is our only option. We will put all our resources into a full attack on the Iconians. Every ship we can muster will be a part of one massive strike against the Herald Sphere. Captain Paris is already moving into position with the Vanguard. Ships here will report to the Herald Sphere as soon as possible. There will be more warriors in Stovokor tonight. But first, we will make the Iconians bleed.
Plop. We're ready to depart as soon as you are, sir. Beam me up. Orders coming in from Captain Cogran now, sir. The battle has commenced, and Captain Paris is preparing to engage the enemy. The Aubrey is to rendezvous with the task force waiting in the Kiana system, then report with them to the Herald Sphere to reinforce ships already there. Acknowledged.
You are the last ship to arrive. We are ready to set course for the Sphere.
Warp to the Herald Sphere.
Alpha Wing, you are cleared for departure.
Sir, the fleet is in complete disarray. We're picking up multiple stress calls as well as incoming transmission from Captain Paris. You want to put them on the main view screen, on screen.
Am I glad to see you? It's just not working. The Iconians are gating in their ships, and they have far more reserves than we anticipated. I've called for a hold on the flagship assault until we regroup. There's no point in a suicide run. First, we need to help our ships in trouble. Can I count on you to help?
We'll do all we can for those ships, Captain.
Ships. This is Commander Novaron of the RRW.
I hate those freaking solar gateways.
A Klingon does not run from battle. Farewell, Captain. Today is a good day to die.
All right, people, we've got one shot at this.
We'll take care of the reinforcements. Follow that dreadnought.
We are clear to enter the gateway.
We have traveled inside the sphere. From what we know, the Heralds use the sphere to control, protect Iconian Gateway Network. We had strike forces assaulting spheres like this one since the beginning of the war, but we've never managed to do more than knock the gateway temporarily offline. First priority is finding our strike teams. The enemy flagship is straight ahead. Priority hail coming in from Captain Paris. Put it on screen.
The flagship's shields are down, and it's losing power. Looks like they're trying to interface with the sphere to give themselves a boost. This might be our one chance to board it and take control. I have 3 troop transports standing by.
Understood, we'll clear the path.
Signaling the carriers to move into position now. Herald reinforcements inbound. We need to deal with them.
Almost there, sir. Just a few more boarding parties.
Boarding parties are on the flagship and reporting heavy resistance. I'll stay here and keep any reinforcements off your back. You need to transport to the flagship and help our teams there.
Understood. Sir, interference from the sphere is blocking some comm signals. I'm attempting to compensate. Do what you can.
We got through. What's your status? We can't reach any of the other away teams.
We're safely on board. The away teams are engaging the Heralds.
Acknowledged. Sensors are picking up power fluctuations near your coordinates. The impact with the Quartar must have disrupted their systems. Start disabling anything you can reach. If we do enough damage, maybe that will help us take their ship.
That sounds like an old-fashioned pirate raid, Captain.
Away teams are attacking power junctions, but they are encountering heavy resistance. It would be an honor to join your team, sir.
Follow me.
Away teams reporting in, sir. Heavy resistance and heavy casualties. Detecting life signs and weapon discharges dead ahead.
Yeah, I can see that, Tulak.
I am detecting Federation and Herald weapons fire beyond this door. There is also a power junction. be trying to recharge her energy.
Whoa, what are you doing over there? The fluctuations are increasing exponentially.
We had disabled some power junctions, but Matara escaped using Gateway. We must be doing some damage to get her attention.
Interesting, but it makes sense. The Iconians are energy beings. If Matara can't use the ship's systems, she'll use herself as a battery for the gateways. But that's probably dangerous for her. She's bleeding herself dry with every gateway. Keep at it. If you can drain enough of her energy, she might make herself vulnerable.
Herald, reinforcements!
Enemy targets on sensor.
We need to disable the other junction, sir. There is another power junction ahead.
Okay. Set up my bunker.
Disabling the power junction.
It's working. She's using her own energy to power the gateways.
More reinforcements, sir. The area is secure, and the other interface is just over there. I am detecting a third junction ahead.
Well, let's shut it down.
Another junction just ahead, sir. If we can keep forcing the creature to use her own power, we can weaken her enough to defeat her.
Okay, she'll spawn right there in the middle, so set up bunker time.
I am detecting strong energy signatures ahead. I believe it to be some kind of command center. Scans confirm her energy readings are decreasing. This could work. A harbinger! Prepare yourself! disable the other interface before we continue.
Okay, one more junction left.
The area ahead contains 4 interface junctions.
You are no god, Natara.
Reinforcements on their way.
That works.
Reinforcements. Watch your back.
Shield losing power.
Last one, then we get to kill an Iconian.
I see clearly now, Ticket. I will stand with you, and these creatures will pay for what they've done. Kill them. Kill them all.
Fall back! Transporter,
count yourself among a fortunate few. What's the situation on the flagship?
Matara is dead.
I hate to say it, but that might be the first bit of good news I've heard all day. Okay, we need to fall back. While there's still a chance, the Heralds will be coming back in force.
Acknowledged. There are so many ships.
These warriors died well, and they will not be forgotten.
Gateways are opening up at the edge of the system. Alliance Command is ordering all available ships to fall back and not engage the Heralds. It's time to go. Agreed, laying a course out of the system. Setting escape pods on long-range sensors. Go save them. That's Star Dancer. I had a friend on that ship. We lost so many ships. What could be worth this price? We've recovered all we can, sir, but there are a few survivors. All these ships, all those people. Steady, this is not the time to mourn. Course lighting for the Canada system, we can depart on your order. Engage. We have returned to the Canada system, sir. Several senior officers are waiting for you in the conference room. Acknowledged.
I don't think we have a choice now. We have to complete the Krenim device. Captain Cogran wants it online immediately, but this isn't something we can rush. Cutting corners with temporal mechanics? That's how you end up with unsolvable time paradoxes. Look, I'll do whatever I can, but I'm scared of this technology. Building it will be the greatest challenge of my career, but actually altering time? I'm not sure anyone should have that much power.
I understand your concern, but it's our best option.
I want to personally commend you. Whatever success we had in this mission was thanks to you. The Iconians have lost their leader. Their unity is broken. That might give us an opening to end this war. The cost, though, all those people, I can't help but feel that I failed them.
You can't blame yourself, Captain. They knew the risk, and they were willing to take them.
Despite the extraordinary efforts of you and many others, our operation was a failure. We're still totaling up the casualties, but the cost was too great. The Heralds still stand. They have lost one Iconian, but if anything, that will only prolong the conflict. Defeating Matara was a combination of the sacrifice of Guroth and many others, your quick thinking and martial prowess, and the Iconians' arrogance. Matara did not believe an Iconian could die. The others will not make the same mistake.
We had to take the risk, Captain. We couldn't wait for the Krenim weapon.
Indeed, but that is a small comfort to the warriors who have entered Stovercore this day. Those of us who remain will mourn, and then we survive another day.
And we will defeat the Iconians.
Our losses were great today, and we will mourn for every hero who died defending their galaxy. I am a warrior. I believe in honorable combat, direct tactics, and looking my enemy in the eye. Although you did manage to destroy Matara and break the unity of the Iconians, I now see that we cannot use traditional combat to defeat them. Captain Nog and his team will continue their work on the weapon. It may be our only option.
And we will finish up the next two missions next time. And this mission is very fun. So, I'll see everybody later. Have a great night. Pretty good. I think I might need to restart here. Yeah. I'm still broadcasting, so I will be right back.